The USS Reborn, a massive nuclear-powered dreadnought, glides into Moon Orbit Station 1. As the ship tethers to the station's heavy logistical umbilicals for a routine supply drop, the crew stands at strict attention, executing a highly technical, perfectly mundane docking sequence. Inside the bridge, the environment is calculated and calm. Mounted directly on the heavily armored bulkhead is a pristine copy of the Bill of Rights. This ancient document grounds the Reborn's command structure, serving as a quiet, constant reminder of the human heritage they are built to protect. But the routine stops when the radar operator detects an anomaly. Hidden deep within the pitch-black shadows of the jagged lunar craters, an unidentified fleet is running completely dark. Their targeting lasers are waking up, and they are locking directly onto the Reborn. Tethered to the station's gantry, the Reborn's massive hull is essentially a stationary target. It cannot maneuver to dodge, its main propulsion is offline, and its secondary batteries are partially obstructed by the station itself, while an armada holds a point-blank laser lock. Survival in this position requires a preemptive, multi-front strike before the enemy can fire. The commander reaches out to Space Fleet Command and receives an immediate chilling reply. You do not need permission to clear your own front yard. With weapons free authorized, the dreadnought prepares to strike first. An enemy scout vessel drifts toward the Reborn to gather intelligence. In response, 100 elite Terran raiders deploy into the vacuum of space. They move in absolute silence, aiming to intercept the scout before it can radio the dreadnought's exact status back to the main Syndicate fleet. The Marines employ a specialized zero-gravity breaching tactic. They slap silent, zero-G explosives onto the scout ship's heavy metal airlock. A blinding, soundless flash vents frozen debris into the void, and the raiders ignite their microthrusters to glide flawlessly inside. The boarders surrender the moment they see the K-bar patch. This represents the one-fight doctrine, a philosophy where Navy and Marines act as a single organism. By capturing the scout before a distress signal is sent, the raiders have blinded the Syndicate armada, allowing the Navy to control the opening move. Simultaneously, the Reborn quietly launches a squadron of F-14ES fighters from its unexposed side. The sleek, dark gray interceptors glide straight into the dark lunar terrain, running completely cold to avoid thermal detection. They hover like wolves in the shadows, waiting for the signal. Neutralizing the scout ship and pre-positioning the interceptors in the enemy's blind spots allows the Reborn to dictate the geometry of the battlefield. The trap is set, and the Syndicate fleet still believes they are the ones holding the ship in place. The commander initiates the bait. He orders the ship to sever the station umbilicals and drop the protective energy shields. The crackling blue sphere completely shuts off. For 2 agonizing seconds, the massive dreadnought sits dark and entirely exposed in the void. Then, the beast wakes up. A terrifying mechanical groan echoes through the hull, thus the ship reroutes all auxiliary power to the forward batteries. The colossal multi-barrel turrets pivot in unison, locking on to the exact coordinates of the hidden fleet. The forward batteries unleash a high-volume artillery barrage. Blinding flashes illuminate the vacuum as car-sized shells slam into the center of the hostile armada. The Syndicate formation instantly fractures in a storm of debris, forced out of their concealed positions. As the surviving hostile ships scramble for cover in the lunar craters, the F-14ES fighters erupt from the shadows. The interceptors use the chaos to close the distance. In one motion, an F-14ES pilot executes a flawless zero-G flip, flying backward to shred 3 pursuing bogies with heavy tracer fire. This absolute synchronization between capital ship firepower and tactical flight combat transforms a planned ambush into a total rout. The one-fight doctrine ensures that while the guns scatter the enemy, the fighters are already in position to finish them. Outside, the vacuum of space burns with debris. Inside, the Reborn's mess hall is freezing, dead silent, and suffocating with tension. The captured Syndicate soldiers sit at heavy steel tables, while the 100 fully patched Terran raiders stand guard around the perimeter. They remain motionless and silent, allowing the psychological weight of their presence to pressure the captives. The only sound is a flat-screen TV broadcasting an upbeat mid-century baseball game. A bead of sweat drops from the Syndicate leader's chin. Suddenly, the loud crack of a baseball bat hitting a home run echoes from the speakers. The jarring noise shatters the leader's composure, and he begins to talk. The syndicate leader reveals that the corporate entity Mars Spices paid a fortune for this contract. This fleet was deployed with one objective: to intercept and bury the Reborn in lunar orbit before it could reach its next waypoint. On the bridge, the commander absorbs the live feed from the interrogation. He nods, orders the shields back up, and commands the helm to chart a direct course for the Red Planet. The USS Reborn is no longer just defending a supply station. With the intelligence secured, the warship ignites its thrusters and leaves the graveyard of the Fleet the Fighting, turning the corporate hunters into the hunted.